Reading is never an easy task for students to learn. It takes multiple brain functions to learn to read. And language and exposure is really crucial at a younger age for reading. So if students aren't exposed to literacy earlier, when their brains are taking in that language, developing, they're decoding, they're going to struggle a lot more as they go through school and get older because those functions aren't as strong as when they're younger in that stages between 1 and 3. So my students who are coming in ESL, not being exposed to the language as a native speaker would, they're going to struggle a lot more to gain that fluency, that comprehension in the second language. But with anything, the more we practice, the better we become. So the more we use our brain to learn to read and to decode, the more confidence we're going to have and the better we're going to perform. The intervention looked at for reading with my school was 6-Minute Solutions by Gail Adams. It was published by Sopris West Educational Services in 2007. It's used to build reading fluency, which is linked to comprehension. When fluency isn't strong, readers tend to struggle a lot more with comprehension, and helping students first build that fluency then allows growth with comprehension. For example, if our cognitive energy is focused on decoding, then the energy needed for comprehension isn't available. Farshap and Samuels talk about how students gain confidence in reading when their fluency improves, thus increasing the likelihood of an interest in reading, which obviously means that those students are going to spend more time and they're going to be more excited to read and to practice reading. Steps for providing this intervention. First, you obviously need to benchmark your reading fluency with your students. So timing them for 1 minute as they read a passage to figure out how many words per minute those students can read. Then we can pair students with like scores in fluency, and together they will get a passage based on their grade level. So if they only read at a 3rd grade level, then they're going to get a passage at a 3rd grade level. They take turns reading for 1 minute. On Mondays, it's the first time they're reading this passage. It's called a cold time. They're able to graph how many words per minute they read while their partner is correcting their errors as they go. Then they switch. The other partner reads. Again, errors are talked about. They graph. We read the same passage every day, and then Friday, they graph their hot time. So after reading this passage for 5 days straight, correcting errors, hopefully they will see their fluency score improve, which helps them with their confidence, and it also improves their comprehension at the end. They do a comprehensive test to see how much of the passage they've actually taken in along with the improvement of their fluency scores. This helps them progress monitor themselves as well as gives me an insight on how they're doing and if they are progressing with the program or not. We do this as a Tier 1 intervention, so all students do this intervention in their literature classes. I find it more difficult to do it that way just because then I can't spend that needed time one-on-one with each student. So this year we're actually trying to manipulate the program to turn it into a Tier 3 intervention where we're pulling students that are 3 to 4 grades below grade level reading and working with them one-on-one and just spending that time hitting vocab, not just fluency, but also that comprehension piece at the end. So far, when I do work one-on-one with students that I pull for especially special ed, it does seem to help improve because they're gaining that confidence needed for their fluency, which is only going to increase their like of reading, and it's going to help build that confidence to keep reading and then to build comprehension.